Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the 284th edition of Cinema Effect, the podcast where we review and talk about a different movie every single Monday. And this week, that movie is Romper Stomper, which opened in Australia on November 12th, 1992. It was directed by Jeffrey Wright. Not that Jeffrey Wright. Another Jeffrey Wright.
I think this is the one that Jane watched a movie from. They talked about like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's crazy because when he said, "Oh, it was directed by Jeffrey Wright," I'm like,
yeah,
what? But he already knew it was the other Jeffrey Wright. Maybe that's because maybe he didn't make the connection because he never knows Jeffrey Wright's name. He always calls him Isaac and stuff like that.
right. That would make sense. Yeah.
I think it didn't even occur to him. But it is a crime drama, and the synopsis says, a group of skinheads become alarmed at the way their neighborhood is changing. Cool. That is true for them, I guess. Fitzy, what did you think of Romper Stomper on a first viewing?
I don't know. It was right. It was pretty goofy, to be honest.
Oh, wow,
it's pretty
okay.
goofy. I think my main issue with it is that it doesn't give Crow, is his name Hander? It doesn't give Hander like enough room to have like kind of that charismatic kind of leadership quality, which would kind of make this film work a bit more. He doesn't have the same kind of thing as like an Edward Norton in freaking American History X or something. It's all a bit brief with him because the film's just short, and I don't know. It's kind of I think it's more kind of just focused on the vibe, I guess. Like it's trying to do a very it's goofy because of the music choices, where it's this like Australian punk thing, and it's like kind of feels a bit satirical or something, but it's also not, and it feels just a bit more holistic than focusing on just Crow, which I thought it would be a bit more of. So it wasn't really what I expected, but yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the second half a bit more, kind of when the gang was broken up. Yeah. So I guess I'm kind of mixed on it.
Okay. I agree. I think I probably liked it a bit more than you. I thought it was pretty good actually. Especially in the second half, definitely agree there. I think in what you're saying of how it's focusing on the vibe, I do think it did that very well. It made me appropriately uncomfortable very consistently.
Yeah, that's true.
It had some violent moments that packed a punch for sure. And overall, in terms of that vibe, it did have this very like hazardous, sick, twisted thing going on, and like a look into that world that it took us into. Like, I felt like I was immersed in that, like what these characters. It's just crazy. I don't know. I was seeing the world through their lens for the 90 minutes, I guess, and not just with their views, but how they live in this very unstable, unsanitary way. It was just shit, frankly, as one of the characters put it as well. And I felt that quite strongly. Like, seriously, what is the point of living this way? I mostly respond with like this disapproval, maybe a tiny bit of pity also. Like, how stupid do you have to be, or how messed up of a past do you have to have had to think that this philosophy is worth standing by and that this is a life worth leading, So in all of those aspects of like the film giving me that experience and commenting on the philosophy and the culture of these people, like I think that was all quite effective and I did enjoy that for what it was, and I felt things watching it, which I think is apt and the point. So yeah, that's all praise. Your point about Crow is valid though. I don't really, yeah. I don't. Maybe it feels weird, but I wanted him to be more not likable, but obviously, but like have him feel like a bit more of a presence in and of himself, like as an influence, I guess, on the
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah.
He just kind of like he obviously was very important. He was an influence on the story, but yeah, he just as a personality, I didn't really see what the others saw in him or like why
Mm,
he is this kind of why he's in the position he's in. Like obviously he's kind of slotted into that cult of personality role without really feeling like he's earned it, I guess.
yeah. The movie doesn't really give him time for like his charisma to shine, or just give him the. Like I don't think Crow's to blame. Like, so I think he could pull that kind of thing off. I just think the film didn't maybe
Yeah.
give him the space for it. Um, yeah,
Yeah, and it's not necessarily even that like I want him to be charismatic and I want him to I just feel like it would make a bit more sense in the story for me to understand that aspect of him and like why what the others see in him and their
mm,
dynamic a bit more. I think that would just
yeah,
make the whole like them as characters, their relationship make a bit more sense to me. Um, but he is just kind of like a pretty bland asshole. Like
yeah,
like Russell has screen presence. It's not that, but the character is just kind of
yeah. He's a bit generic, I guess.
yeah,
But
yeah.
on your it being, showing the environs and stuff, and I didn't feel like it was filthy enough, to be honest. Like
Oh, okay.
Crow having like his own room, and then them being in these kind of warehouses, which were like they weren't clean or unclean. They were just kind of there, Like it didn't really let you like revel
Mm,
in the kind of filth, like a kind of
mm.
like a train spotting does or something. Um, so that felt a bit absent uh, for me. But like you can kind of feel it in some of the scenes themselves, like when they're like partying or like drinking.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
I mean that was kind of filthy, yeah. But like the day-to-day living, it didn't really feel like that, especially because like the film moves so fast that you don't really have time to like wallow in it, as I said. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's all. That's all totally true. I guess it was still. I guess I got enough of it. There was enough there for me to latch on to. Just when I think like the warehouses, I mean, you bring up the party montage. That was actually a really effective montage because I just like could barely watch it because it was like so cringe. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like when they're hanging out in the warehouses, and I don't know. I'm just thinking about them like sitting around doing the dishes, and yeah, honestly, I think the sound design in this movie is quite good because there's just always something going on sound wise that just makes me feel uncomfortable and like I'm not in a safe environment. Like there's often a lot of when they're in the warehouses, there's often a lot of like metal echoing and creaking, things like
Mm,
that.
that's
Like
true.
a lot of the characters' voices like are echoing and shit like that. And it also like there's always just someone like even if it's not what the scene is like in the background, there's always like other characters fucking shouting or carrying on about something, whatever it is. There's just very little peace, even in these, quieter spaces or what are meant to be quieter spaces. Um,
Mm,
so I think that was one contributing thing to what made me feel still uncomfortable in the space. And I don't know, man. I just they're just a crazy bunch of people, and the way they interact.
they're just a
you
crazy,
know,
wacky bunch. Mm,
I don't mean to make that sound like it's oh they're just they're misunderstood or whatever like, but that's not what I mean at all. But I just completely disapprove of everything about them, to be honest. It's just like, I just find them so off-putting in every way. Like, obviously, they're racist as fuck and terrible as fuck in that sense, obviously. But, like, I think I also like the other ways that the film, like, with the sound, with the environment and all that, I like the other ways the film makes me dislike them, you know?
Mm.
By how annoying they are around each other. Like, all that stuff is equally as effective as just them being terrible people.
I mean, maybe that's what they were kind of going for with Crow, like not taking the like the charismatic leader approach with Crow. They just kind of wanted to make them all, you know, annoying and asshole-ish, not have them have too many like redeeming or like interesting qualities. They just kind of wanted to show like um
Yeah.
the baseline and nothing else. Which I guess makes sense. Not bad artistic.
Yeah. Yeah, and make it less yeah, and make it less about the specific, like, getting attached to the characters as much as it is.
Yeah. Like I guess it is less movie-ish to just have Crow be like, you know, more standard. Um
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's true. But so f I guess in that sense, like, what was your main reaction to them as characters as a group? Like, did you I is there did you feel an element of pity like I sort of brought up, or did you I don't know, like, was there anything endearing in how they connected with you or how they communicated or did shit with each other, you know? Like, I know there are a couple scenes, like you brought up when they start breaking apart and stuff, and there are a couple scenes where they're sort of tested, their bonds are tested, if you will, and I feel like there's
Mm.
something in those scenes, you know?
Um I don't know. I really didn't feel much of anything towards any of them, to be honest. Yeah, like yeah, vague disgust, but not even like that much. I don't know. I also I just saw the actors too much. Like I saw like Daniel
Oh.
Wiley or whatever in this film. Um, he's been in all the like
Oh!
random Australian stuff. Um,
Yeah, okay.
er,
Yeah, I see him here, yeah.
yeah. What were you saying? Well, like, what did you feel towards them? I'll go off. I'll go off that.
I guess I definitely felt like a stronger negativity than you did. Like, do you feel like the film would have worked better if you did feel like, instead of the vague disgust, like a more visceral disgust?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I think I did feel that. Like, their choices are just so fucking awful and bewildering to me
hmm.
that that does a lot of the heavy lifting by itself. Like, I don't does it even need to be said? But, like, obviously, you know, every time they just decide to beat up a random Vietnamese person for no reason, it's like,
Oh yeah, yeah. The start of the film was, and also the big fight. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Nah, that was terrible. Yeah.
it was vaguely bad.
It was really bad.
But, like, what
Like I don't know.
that that yeah, yeah.
I I honestly didn't really see too many of them as like characters. They were more just kind of caricatures, and that's why I couldn't really
Right.
like hate them as such.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It also took a while, I think, because obviously by the end, like, it sort of ends up becoming about sort of the 3 core characters. But, like, I feel like it kinda takes a while for that to take shape and for you to sort of see through the whole group to see that, oh, it is kind of to filter the rest out, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like in the first half an hour, I couldn't have told you that it was gonna end up being about these 3 necessarily, even though they probably did have the most screen time, especially obviously, like, Gabe and Russell Crowe, obviously. Um, like, them as a couple I could see, but then, like, I
Mm.
didn't necessarily see it becoming this sort of triangle aspect that it does become in the last act.
Yeah, no, like well, I didn't see that at the start because I thought it would focus more on like the entire gang and that other guy from
Canberra.
Canberra or something? Would they bring him?
Yeah,
I thought
we're the
he'd have
Canberra
more
crew.
of yeah. I, I thought he'd have like more of an influence. It'd be more about that. Magoo was his name.
Magoo. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I kind of saw the love triangle thing unfolding within the gang, and that like being part of the gang breaking apart, but the breaking apart kind of happened separate to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like all those other characters, it showed pretty quickly. I thought that it wasn't about them after like the first like half an hour or so.
Mm.
Because like that first big fight kind of disrupts everything pretty quickly. I thought, with the Vietnamese people like fighting back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm,
Absolutely. That scene, I mean, this is my take on the scene. I think it was really cool when they all get back up and like cars kept pulling up. Like there's more and more
oh,
more and more
uh,
Vietnamese backup
I
kept
mean, that was a
turning
cool
up.
shot. Yeah, yeah.
I just thought it was cool. Like I I mean, there's a lot of like hate in this movie, I guess, like obviously through seeing the viewpoints and the values of these characters, but like the only really one-sided violent thing that there is in this movie, I think, is I mean, that's I guess the cops also, to be honest. But I'm talking about like one violent thing inflicted by the main group is like the opening, where they just completely bash the shit out of those
Well,
young people.
you know the guy that Crow kills later at the gas station.
Oh, yeah, 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 absolutely, yeah, yeah, no, 100%. But I guess I would have thought there'd maybe be the movie be more about this group going around doing shit, whereas
Mm,
it's kind of only the opening, and then they obviously try it again. But then on the second attempt we see, it's like it just they get totally outnumbered, which I thought was cool.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you don't need to see that a bunch of times because it's just kind of assumed that like once you see it once, you can assume that they've done it a
Right.
few
That this
times.
is standard Saturday night behavior for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. So, but yeah, I wasn't expecting like the big breakout that early. Like I thought it'd be a bit more like back and forth, like kind of a Romeo Juliet kind of thing, where um the gang on gang violence kind of happens later. But
Right, right. And it sort of builds to it, whereas it's sort of yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's sort of like actually the inciting event for like what
yeah.
the whole
For
rest
for
of
the
it.
trio, that's true.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly. Um, I mainly just liked it because like the shot of the cars pulling up just felt kind of comical to me
Yeah,
but in a satisfying way of like, oh yeah, hell yeah, thank God. Um, so that was cool. I do think that whole scene was a bit long though, and it's feels weird to say in a 90-minute movie, but like it did go on for a spell. I'm not gonna lie, of them just like running to the next fucking place or
yeah.
whatever,
I felt when
making sure there's
yeah, when they were going in like the warehouse, that felt a bit protracted. Um,
yeah, I thought
yeah,
so.
it's true.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, but yeah, man, I guess in terms of well, so do you know this trivia about Russell Crowe getting cast in this movie? I'll tell you. The the character of Hando was originally written for guess who?
Oh, Ben
Is it-
Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn.
Yep.
Ah, oh,
um, however, Mendelsohn did not look menacing when his head was shaved, whereas Russell Crowe had
oh,
shaved his head,
I
gotten
mean,
into character, and had
mm,
been persistently contacting Jeffrey Wright to reconsider his casting decision. So Russell Crowe out here trying to put Ben out of a job, by the way, which he succeeded in because then Wright decided Mendelsohn didn't have the look and the role went to Crowe.
yeah. I mean, Mendelsohn did look like pretty cute when he was young. So hey, why can't I
Yeah.
search this? And
That photo we've got, that emote we've got of him on the Discord, that's like young Mendelsohn, isn't it?
is it? No, I think that's more.
Is it? Oh.
Not sure.
Oh, no, that's not that young. Sorry. No, I was thinking of a different. I was thinking of like the one. I'm thinking of a specific photo. I thought it was an emote, but I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, like he played a great gangster in Animal Kingdom. But I think like he was just a bit too cute when he was like young. So
Yeah, yeah. Like,
well, he
maybe
probably would have
maybe
been
he
great
could have
there.
brought.
But,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think he probably could have brought that, like, charismatic aspect we were missing maybe.
yeah, yeah, maybe.
But I do think Russell was, like, I agree, like, he looks the part, and I did, in terms of what you were saying earlier about, like, how he felt about his character and, like, not feeling that's on him, I think he did do a really good job in the movie. Like, I thought he was a piece of shit, and I thought that I mean, I don't disagree with the outcome that he had to look. So, I guess I agree with the choice over Mendelsohn, but, like, I don't know. I can't, don't mean to, I can never say I don't want Ben Mendelsohn in a movie, but, like, I can see why they went this way.
Yeah, but like this was his breakout role after Proof, which was like 1991. So I
Yeah,
mean, if
yeah,
he
right.
wasn't in this,
Yeah.
he might not have broken out, so to speak. He might not have Russell Crowe. So it's good for that,
Do you know,
I guess.
you've got no idea how right you are, because Russell Crowe's performance in this film is what convinced Curtis Hanson to cast him in LA Confidential.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't know if that was his, although oh my god. Was that his first big Yankee film? I don't even know.
I think so. I was looking at the Wikipedia yesterday, and it seems like after this, he had a few kind of random things, and then LA Confidential kind of brought him into the US
Okay.
limelight.
And then how far after that was The Insider? Oh, was that the second one, or is there some other stuff I'm missing?
Was inside at 2001? Oh, 1999. No. I don't know.
Yeah, you're totally right, by the way. LA Confidential. Yeah, The Insider is like his next,
Oh, okay.
very
That's
highly
cool.
rated film. There's also in between here, what is this movie? Oh, that's not that big of a movie. Mystery Alaska. That's not that big. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it kind of was the
Breaking
big
Up was
one.
kind of like a somewhat. It was like like an indie popular kind of film. With Selma.
It's got a terrible rating.
Yeah, but I think people still like knew about it.
Yeah, okay. Okay. But, like, by the looks of this, it really did go from this then to that LA Confidential, casting, to The Insider, then obviously then Gladiators right after Insider,
Yeah.
and then he's obviously well and truly off and away there.
Mm, mm,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know, like, did you think that this was, like, I think we can agree it, like, lacks something to be, like, feel iconic in and of itself, but, like, do you agree that this was a performance that worked in the movie, that made it
Yeah, no, it
a
definitely
strong
was.
performance? Those are 2 different
Yeah,
questions, kind of.
it was a strong performance, just not the kind of performance I was expecting. I guess wasn't the standard
Yeah.
kind of choice, but it was still strong. I mean, I like his performance in certain like the bedroom scene where he's like, "You're all I have," or whoever, Davy, um, in his more
Mm.
um emotional slash rational side. I don't know. It kind
Yeah.
of seems like for the rest of the film he's just like angry, and then there are moments later on where he's kind of trying to figure something out. Um, I like him in those scenes, but
Mm.
um, yeah, no, he had a presence, as you said. He still had the Russell Crowe presence, for sure.
Yeah.
And
He did.
Russell Crowe was great in Proof as well. I'll mention Proof for the second time, but he was already good the year previous, so I think he definitely had that presence from the beginning, from the inception. So yeah,
Yeah, I saw Proof, and I added it to my watch list already today. Yeah, nice. I will. I definitely agree. Like, I like the bedroom scene too. I'm actually thinking I was going to bring up the other bedroom scene, which isn't nearly as like dramatic, but the earlier one when he's with Gabe and he's just basically like the point of the scene is Russell Crowe explains Mein Kampf
Oh,
to this woman.
that was so funny. I mean, there are some moments in this film I had like where I laughed at that because I just thought that was goofy and
Okay.
just I don't know, like that was definitely one of them. The way he explains it so matter of factly and just so like I don't know, it's just funny. It's just, have you heard of Mein Kampf? It's a book by Adolf Hitler. It's just I don't know. It was like
Yeah,
in
but
a Wikipedia description of it, and then he
yeah,
reads slowly the like philosophy of it. It's just, I don't know.
yeah. It's actually a good point because like he delivered that exact dialogue, but with like you just did it ironically. He didn't do it ironically at all. He just matter of factly
Yeah,
is exactly correct. He was like explaining it the way I would explain, like I don't know, like fucking someone in the at dinner time, like anything. You know what I mean? Oh, you see this shit today? I was walking my dogs or
yeah.
whatever. He's talking about Mein Kampf this way.
The way you
Sorry.
explain like a tax deduction or something. Mm.
Yeah, the way my accountant explained shit to me. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know where else I'll say it, so I'll just say it here. That fucking arm skeletal tattoo thing he had is insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when he was doing like the upside down whatever they like jumps or whatever, like
Oh yeah,
upside
yeah,
down
yeah.
whatever that was. Um, yeah, when we got the full body tattoo, I wasn't expecting that much.
Oh my god.
That much
I feel
black.
like you see it a fair bit. It's just so black.
Mm.
It's crazy. Oh my god. Like imagine a real person having that. I'm sure people do. I'm sure people do.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, all right. And then I mean in terms of the other characters, so like Davey's the other main character. This is the trivia I've got here. Daniel Pollock, who plays Davey, committed suicide before the film's release.
Oh, I was gonna look at like what else he's been in. But it's got like the black and white photo of him in this film,
Yeah.
which makes sense to me now. So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So the film, he died like not long after they finished shooting because he died in like March or something. And then the film came out in November. So it was a good while before too.
Mm. Yeah. No, I thought it was really good though. I thought it was I mean, yeah, it was good. It was good. I don't
I
want to
thought he was
say
good too.
no. I'm not gonna say that. He was the better of the characters. You know, he was obviously terrible, but
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
He was a good guy. No, wait,
No,
what?
no, he wasn't a good guy. That's not. No one's saying that.
Oh, God. Man, this guy, look, here's my thing with this guy is that, yes, he is kind of positioned as it goes on to be a bit better than the worst, right? But this guy is still so shit that I think the scene that says it all is when Gabby starts having a seizure. And at this point, like it's kind of they've already like earlier in the scene like teasing, oh, you know, they've got a bit of flirtation going on between them or whatever. And
Mm.
then she starts having a seizure, and the best he can do is not laugh, and then go and shove the guy who's laughing. It's like, oh, why are you laughing? And then goes and shoves the other guy. It's like that's still the best. I don't know. I just saw this and I'm just like, look, I'm not saying I'm a paramedic and I could know exactly how to respond to a seizure, but I could still do better than standing there completely doing nothing and then
Yeah.
going and then getting so distracted by the other guy. And like that's I guess that's what I'm saying about these people is that they're so like immature and totally like I don't know, like gun ho or just quick to anger and quick to
Mm.
resort to violence is the thing. And they're like the only way he knows how to respond is just to go over and shove the other guy when there's something far more important happening in the room, dude.
Yeah, I feel like the most obvious thing is like making sure the person's like on their side. Like, I feel like everyone should know that.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know what else you would do besides that. But like, yeah, not just standing there is probably a good start.
I don't know.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Start like fucking patting her on the back. Whatever. I don't know.
yeah,
Something. I guess, yeah, like overall, it is like that. And then also just like not getting distracted by something far less important. Like just like making this is the number one thing happening in this room right now. Like, even if I feel helpless, like showing that I'm trying in some aspects. Like, I don't know.
yeah, no, that was definitely uncomfortable to watch. Sure.
Yeah, man.
Super
Um,
realistic seizures, though. I mean, not that I'm saying that, but they seemed pretty realistic.
yeah. Yeah. Um, were there any kind of moments that surprised you that kind of like brought you out of that sort of like whatever zone of vagueness you're in that kind of like
Yeah,
pulled you out?
seeing the parking lot of Bell's Beach, definitely.
Dude, that was
Um,
Bell's Beach.
I
That's
recognized from the
crazy.
first instant. Yeah. Um,
You know, that's so funny because like when I saw it too, that's the exact car park I thought of, but I just kind of never allowed
yeah,
myself. I kind of never allowed myself to actually think that was it. I was just kind of like I wasn't consciously thinking this, but I just kind of saw it, and the first image that came to mind is like, oh, that looks like the Bells Beach car park, and then I just like,
yeah, that's what I thought.
but it
It's like
was.
I did sort of doubt myself, but I was like, no, that's definitely Bell's Beach. Um, I mean, when we get to the beach, it definitely is pretty obvious too. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, the Gabe and the father stuff, I guess, was something that
yeah,
what'd you say? Like pulled you, like shocked me. Yeah, that was a good addition. I mean, I don't know how to. It's so hard to fucking word things around a movie like this, dude. Why did we choose this? Like, can you imagine if we asked you a question from last week? Jesus Christ. Anyway,
you can't. Yeah, you can't use the word good like at all.
yeah, it's a worthwhile addition. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's an enlightening addition to her character. That aspect
sure,
of the relationship with her father and all that stuff in the
sure.
house and stuff. Um, yeah, that was all good.
I'm I'm not a coward. I'll just say, you know what? The dad clearly incestuous, sexually abusive relationship. I loved it in the movie. I thought it was I thought it was great.
That was great. Yeah.
No, I don't know. But no, like I'm glad you brought that one up because that was the only audible reaction I had to the movie. The way like obviously they set up this relationship earlier. And
Mm.
then we're in the thick of it at the house. And the way she just casually drops the line, "He's my dad," as a reveal was just like, I said, "What?" I was like, "What the fuck?" Because like we've already seen them and how they interact and how this guy's like totally perving all over her. And I just, I think you meant to like that was meant to be a reveal, right? Like
Yeah,
under the
yeah.
stars.
No, that's what I think. You elicited the intended effect,
Okay.
filmmakers. Yeah.
Good, good. Because you see, I figured it was just like an older guy who was like looking out for her, but he's really just wants to get in her pants, obviously. And that's that's a dynamic we see on screen and stuff. So I'm like, okay, it's this kind of situation. But it was like, what? It's your dad?
Mm,
Like, oh my god,
crazy.
that's fucking awful. But that is, I do think it was really great, Liam. Really great. I'll say it. It was really great. Just like to keep that piece of information, and like because it could have very easily just been said in the first scene that it's the dad, and then it becomes gross. But I liked it working in reverse. I liked it being gross first,
Mm.
and then you realize.
Well, it's kind of. I mean, by not like telling us that it kind of sets up like a bit of a mystery of like why she's hanging around these people, or why she seems so like clueless, I guess. Um, yeah, I think it kind of that kind of the abusive relationship kind of makes sense of her character a bit more. Um, yeah, and is an effective reveal in that sense. So, like in that way,
Yeah.
the film like sets up a mystery for her, which it then solves. Um,
Yep.
and then like, you have more sympathy for her, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely do. And then by the time a little bit later on, like you get to the scene where she leaves and it's the scene where like Davey's following.
Mm,
Um, I thought that was quite a strong scene between them. Um, she's obviously like by that point she's kind of woken up to like how like what the fuck. I mean, she's only been there for like what 2 or 3 days or something. But
yeah.
it's like it only took her that long to realize this is fucking dumb as this is the most hopeless shit. Um, yeah,
No, no. She just didn't know it. It's just funny that she didn't like register or care about anything initially. Like, the flag and stuff. She was like, oh, what's that? Yeah. But
yeah. There were like
uh,
no warning signs, and like even though I guess
yeah.
I I guess I should commend her for the fact that she got out of there after 3 days when like the rest of them have been there in it for years. So I guess that's
Oh,
in by
right.
comparison, it's I guess should be applauded, but no, because like the fact she wasn't out of there in the first instance, yeah, that's true. I can kind of get by on the fact that she's clearly a dejected feeling person who's got her own problems and probably just wants some sense of community. And it's kind of one
Mm.
of those stories where you sort of just take whatever community you're given and then you realize it's fucking awful. So like I guess that makes
But
sense
it,
narratively.
yeah, but it feels like it's not that she ignores the signs. It's that she doesn't know what they are. You know what I mean? Like she
Okay.
doesn't know. She literally doesn't know what the flag is. She doesn't know about the book or anything. She has it all like explained to her. Um.
Do you think she literally doesn't know at the start what the Nazi logo is?
Well, the way she asks it is it's kind of like she really doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Like
interesting.
it doesn't make. Yeah, yeah. Like it doesn't make sense for her not to know because like the background. It seems like she comes from like an educated background. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. No, she's a bit thick. We can say that. Um, and then I mean, in terms of shocking moments, not that it like hit emotionally. I wouldn't say that at all. Like I'm talking about here when like she leaves, she snitches on them, then the cops come and they shoot the shit out of the kid, just waste him. Um, like that was a wow moment. I will say that. Just I was like, I think they knew it was a bit of a like holy shit, this shit just got real moment. And it's not like I felt any sort of like connection to the kid character of like, oh, I really well, obviously these people are all terrible, obviously. So I'm not like, oh, but the kid was kind of all right. Like he was just as bad. But I don't know. When you're young, also, I feel like you kind of see more the side, which I guess is probably true for all of them. But especially when they're younger, it's like, why is this kid there? He's there probably because he's had like less than ideal. He's in a less than ideal situation in his own life where I don't know whether he's an orphan or whether his parents abused him or what. You know what I mean? Like the, what I'm saying is that your life circumstances can't be very positive if you're like 14 or however old he is and you're with this group with this crew. So I'm not totally unsympathetic in that sense. Not that it justifies any choices you make, but um, anyway, all that is to say is that like I think that moment had some weight to it in that sense that it felt like an appropriate consequence for everything that had happened up until that point, and just for them for them being who they are, I guess.
Yeah. No, it was a good, like, breaking point kind of moment, and then the handheld, um, police stuff was good. Yeah, and that,
Yeah,
um, yeah. Mm,
yeah. It was like a wake up call. It was like,
mm.
and especially when then the cops come and beat the shit out of them. Like that was interesting to me. That elicited an interesting response to me because it's like
Yeah, because
it
they kind
made
of
me
film it,
uncomfortable too.
yeah. They film it in the same way that, like, the gangs are beating up each other earlier. Like, it's the same,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like if I were to guess as to the intention there, like I would assume that it's like obviously it's not like you're meant to feel sorry for these neo-Nazi people, but I think it's more like shining a light on how violence is just unjustified under any circumstance. Like it doesn't matter where it's directed necessarily. It can. I'm not saying it's totally irrelevant, but it says something that an effort was made to still make me feel uncomfortable, even when the quote unquote good guys were wasting the quote unquote bad guys. Like it
Right.
still feels like an abuse of power,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that's not meant to feel good.
Yeah. I think it's just like a general commentary on, like, abuse of power is common in groups, I guess, with,
Sure.
similar beliefs and similar goals. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not good. You know,
No, it's not good.
that's
It's
naughty.
not good. It's bad. I'm saying it.
Oh man. Um. Oh yeah. I mean, we already touched on Bell's Beach, I guess, but I guess we could talk a bit about the ending. And from that scene, you mentioned the bedroom scene onwards, when like it sort of becomes a last stand for the three of them. Um, that was a good scene when Russell sort of gets them on side, and then like the cut immediately to him killing the guy in the petrol station was like
Mm.
the
That's
most
crazy.
shake your head response, where it's just like, dude, this is already the an absolute disaster of a plan of a. I mean, not that I'm surprised, but
Yeah,
like,
I've got a plan to, uh was that the literal cut?
yeah,
Like he said he had a plan, and then it was done?
yeah. It was that wasn't the exact line, but it was something like that. He's like,
But he said, "Don't worry, I've got a plan, mate." That was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think
said
that
it.
actually was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it cuts to him fucking.
I didn't even think of yeah, the juxtaposition there. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Um,
The dichotomy is
Terrible.
crazy.
Yeah, this guy thinks he's smart. See, that was him. Like that wasn't him like acting rashly. That was. I mean, I don't know if you plan to kill the guy necessarily. Um, I guess to give Russell Crowe's character the benefit of the doubt. Um, but he also kind of felt like the idea probably came from the fact that he wanted to kill a guy and he was trying to figure out what was the most convenient way to do that in this situation. Oh, we have to go to a petrol station. So
Oh. So you just no, just wanted to kill you. Mm.
I don't know. I just feel like that's very plausible with this guy.
Yeah, maybe.
Um, but yeah, anyway, and then they drive down to Bell's Beach. I don't know where this gas station was. I can't say it was bloody Armstrong Creek because there was there's like 50 there now, but none at the time. Geelong. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Um, anyway, and then you get this whole ending, which was pretty good, I thought. It was appropriately violent, appropriately climactic. It kind of ends right on the high, which I like. I like that. I always bring that up. Um, that's one way to make me happy. Um, but I don't know. I don't know how. Is it like? I guess it is a happy ending, kind of. Like, poor choice of words. I wouldn't say happy ending. Like that should those two words shouldn't be related with this film. But like, it is overall within the context of the possible outcomes of this sequence, right? Like, the best outcome happened, and that being that the two better characters survived, and the one
Yeah, but
really bad guy died.
but I mean the guys, well the guy's going to jail for sure because of the tourists who can.
Oh yeah,
Davy's definitely going to jail, but I don't know. No, it's not. I don't know. No, it's not a happy ending. There's no way.
but there is some measure of relief in Russell Crowe. Like in that, like that is the very movie moment of him like coming in and getting like killed at the last second from behind, and it's like a save.
Well, yeah, yeah.
And like
Davy
I
saved it.
found
Yeah, he saved it.
that's like my default reaction to a scene like that is like, okay, that's like there's some satisfaction in that for an audience, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the question is, would Davy and Gabe, like, would they, if they got away with that, like, would they go on and kind of move away from the lifestyle? And like, maybe they would, because if they kind of aren't as involved in it when they're on their own in like the grandma's house, that they're just kind of there. Um, and like it seems like Davey has a little bit of shame about it because he doesn't want his grandma to like know about the badges or whatever. So I guess if the tourists weren't there, if they got away with it, then it would like lead towards some happiness or like resolution, I guess.
Mm.
But like I just feel like with the way it ends on the Romper Stomper kind of theme, which I thought was cool, and like
Yeah, it
the
was good.
camera's sideways, um, everything's kind of gone to shit. Really, I don't think it's a happy ending. Um, but
Yeah,
yes, they did kill
yeah.
the worst of the worst guy, but still,
The bad guy survived, the worst guy died. Yeah, I guess in that sense, yeah, it's like I can't use the word happy. Can't use the word happy. It's like a
it's
it's like it's not the worst outcome, right? The worst outcome would be if fucking Russell Crowe drowned Gabe and then turned around and killed Davey and then walked off.
yeah, yeah, that'd be funny actually. Yeah. Nah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. Yeah, but it's not like a bittersweet ending anyway, because it's just like terrible. But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, is that what it's meant to be? Like in terms of what it's leaving you with? Is it leaving you with like it gives you the movie moment of like the save. But then it's just kind of like and you get the audience gets a little high from that. But then it's like 1 minute left
yeah,
and then it's just going and then you kind of just realize, oh, like this shit all still sucks and these people still suck.
yeah, it's like a false victory because they don't like if any like the one hope in the film is kind of Davy and Gabe's relationship, and obviously they're probably
Mm,
not gonna be able to continue with that after killing him in
yeah.
front of everybody. So yeah, it's kind of like, oh, we won, but then you realize the hope is gone because of extenuating circumstances. But
Yeah. Absolutely. Um it's also like can't be overlooked that like I know you mentioned it, but like a bus turns up with a bunch of Asian tourists.
yeah, nice,
Like,
and they have them like speak and there be subtitles. Um,
yeah,
speak. I don't know what language they're speaking, but yeah, an Asian language and having
yeah,
subtitles. Um, so yeah, the irony was not lost.
no. I thought it was hilarious. Like, to be honest,
Well,
I don't
like
know.
I, I think the film like the way I was reacting to a lot of the film in like finding it funny and goofy. That's kind of what that was, but in a more intentional way. And so it's making
Yes.
me think now, like, was that intentional earlier, like the moments that I found funny? Um, which I don't know, it could have been. I don't know. Um, but that was definitely an instance of it being, yeah, um, purposeful, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what I liked about it is that it's a pretty big part of the ending, actually. Like, I know it's sort of like violence on the beach is the main thing, but then it's like secondary to that. And it's obviously, it's surface level funny, but it's also like obviously deeply ironic and also deeply relevant.
Mm,
And it's like, it's not, when I say deeply, it's not deep. Like it's pretty obvious, but I thought it was clever, to be honest. I feel like
yeah, no,
it made a lot of sense, and yeah, as you said, the irony was not lost. But I thought it was a solid choice, really.
mm, no, it's definitely clever. It's like, I can imagine a story like this being, like, thought of from that scene backwards. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yep.
Like if the
Yep.
director or the writer thinks, like, imagine this, like, there's, like, these Nazis, neo-Nazis are, like, fighting on the beach, and then these, foreign tourists come and, like, see them,
Yep.
like, a witness to, like, a murder. Like, I can think of that as, like, a strong instance of, like, a story moment that you then work backwards from to, like, tell the story,
Yep.
because it is such a
Yep.
strong moment.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Pitching it that way, or even if it wasn't like the inception, like you can definitely see it being like a strong like idea of a scene that comes
Yeah,
up, and
to,
then
like,
it's
work
like you
towards.
want to get to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I also, yeah, you shout out the POV sort of like tilted shot over the credits, and I really liked that as well. Actually, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, man, I mean, not that this is vital information, but like this did come up. I can't remember if it was on the show or an after show. I think it was on the show. I don't know. Anyway, because this came up so recently as like an interesting topic, and then this trivia was here, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. In the DVD's commentary track, director Jeffrey Wright confirmed that some of the sex on screen was real.
Oh,
Add this to the
some
list
of it.
of of films where, and I must admit, I don't know if you felt this way watching it. I was like, I was pretty sure anyway. I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah, no,
couple
like,
moments there.
I was wondering that, I was
There
pretty
was definitely
convincing.
a couple little brief shots for sure where it definitely left one to wonder. And then I
Mm,
read this and it was confirmed.
left one to wonder with little imagination.
Yeah, very little. Absolutely.
Left to the imagination. Mm.
What's up with the title of the movie? Like, what is Romper Stomper? What does that mean? I feel
Was
like
that
there's some context I'm losing here, like maybe historical or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Jaden maybe could help with that, but I thought it was just Crow's I thought it was Crow's character, 'cause didn't he say that, like, a few times? Like, when he was first with Gabe, like, um, when he was, like, holding her up in the first place, he was like, "Romper," you know? And it probably does mean something historical, but I don't know. I just associated that with Crow's character. I don't know.
This is what Google AI says.
Okay, let's yeah.
The title Romper Stomper was coined by Jeffrey Wright to evoke a sense of violent, chaotic energy, acting as a rhythmic, almost childish rhyme that contrasts with the brutal stomping violence of the neo-Nazi skinheads in Melbourne.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's kind of like the
like,
same, which is very it's like nursery rhymish, Dun dun.
yeah,
It's very
yeah,
kind of simple. Uh,
some more irony there, I guess, as well. Okay, yeah, when it's explained like that, I don't mind it. I was just kinda confused by it, but yeah, okay. It does
Yeah.
sound childish, I must admit.
I mean, it makes sense with, like, the music choices as well, which are, like,
Oh my god.
very, like, punky and, very, like, delinquenty. Um, but obviously they're talking about all the terrible neo-Nazi things, so
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Oh my god, those songs were so obviously very intentionally so cringe. Oh my god. This
Mm,
fucking song the song going on about the fucking Fourth Reich and all this sort of shit. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
mm.
Like, actually genuinely like, that's the thing, like, that's what I wanna know, was that music created for the film? Or if that was real
I
music,
think
that's
so. I mean, maybe it was, like, based on something like some super niche thing, but I think it was probably created. I can look it up, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, no, I would definitely lean towards agreeing with you because I just can't even imagine. Like, building a genuinely, like, compelling chorus from this shit,
Yeah.
a genuine hook. Man, what was that what was the other one? The other main one was, like, Fura Fura? Oh my god. That is so cringe, so bad. Well, that is yeah, shout out to that because it's so bad like that, I mean, that it's I
Oh,
appreciate it.
what are you gonna say though? It's so bad
It's
it's
so
not.
bad it's good. No,
No.
I mean, kind of in the sense that, like, I think it's, like, for the music, for the composer, anyone working on the film in that aspect, like, I think it is pretty inspired
Yeah.
as a statement. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I don't really know what it was drawing from in terms of no, I mean, not like the lyrics, but in terms of, like, if there was, like, an Australian punk thing that I was pulling from.
Right.
There
Yeah,
probably
like a
wasn't
scene.
just yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things, like, in terms of places we recognized, I think I didn't recognize that much. I did kind of see that it was, like, Footscray, just from its, like, relation to, like, the skyscrapers or whatever, but, like, because most of the film was in the warehouses and it's, like, inside, you don't really get as much of that, like, recognizing iconic Melbourne spots or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just to point that out because it's, you know, I feel like that's something people usually talk about, like, where did you recognize these scenes from your city? But it wasn't
Yeah,
really
yeah, but,
too
not really,
prominent.
except I think maybe because they gave us Bells Beach, it's like we didn't need anything else.
Yeah, no, that was funny. Yeah.
There was only a very brief handful of shots of, like, the city,
Yeah, yeah,
um, itself, and man, like, I get that it's probably just because I'm seeing this whole thing through this very specific lens of these characters, but, like, I guess it succeeded in, like, it felt scary, like, when I saw the city and, like, maybe that's what it was like the association of, like, "Oh, that's the Melbourne I recognize, but it's clearly also not, and I'm seeing it through the lens of these scary people, these terrible people." It kind of felt it was an off-putting impression when I saw the city a little bit. I'm like, oh, like, it made it feel like, even though it's only the '90s and, like, obviously all of our parents and stuff, we weren't far off and all our parents were, like, living around here at the time, like, so it's not like that alien. But it made it feel alien. It made it feel, like, really like it was a long time ago and, like, it was, like, something I would definitely wanna not
oh, yeah,
feel
that's true.
familiar with. Alright,
Yeah, I'm done.
let's do it. Let's get to our final verdicts for Romper Stomper. Man, I'll put a strong 7 on it. I'll do that. Fitzy?
Okay. Um, I'll give it a 6. Um, I just think it was a bit too unserious for what I expected. Um, Maybe it was just me not interpreting the tone correctly or something, but, um, yeah, I definitely was looking for something else from this, but still a decent film, still technically pretty great. Especially for an Australian film. No, yeah. I'll give it a 6.
You did a good job carefully praising it. Carefully, very carefully.
Yeah, I didn't use the word good.
All right, let's get into news chat. We got a few trailers to talk about this week. First up
Yeah.
on the agenda is the one we both saw, and that is Beef Season 2. And
Mm,
it's a new beef, Liam. It's not the same beef
I can see
that
that.
we
Yeah.
followed previously. It is a brand new beef. What did you think?
I mean, oh, it was just. I thought it was crazy, honestly, seeing this upgrade in characters and seemingly camera work and just like. I mean, it doesn't look like the scale is hugely changed, but hugely uh improved, but it looks like it definitely has a bit. And having freaking Oscar Isaac and Kaylee Spacey and these people on it is just crazy after the first season. I mean, it's Stephen Young or whatever is pretty big, but still, it just feels a lot bigger and a lot more like White Lotus-y almost. I don't even know. Like the tone was
Yeah, yeah.
um yeah, homogenized a bit. Let's say. So yeah.
No, you're not wrong at all. Like, it looks like the same show, except just having these people in it, like, feels like the star power just elevated it by 3 or something, like, completely by itself. That's how I felt watching it. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't even really like Beef that much, but, like, I watched this trailer, I'm like, obviously I'm gonna watch this. Because you've got all these amazing actors in it, and it looks pretty fun and compelling, so I'm like, fuck, why not?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I loved Beef. I thought Beef was great, but like, I feel like the camera work is definitely uh, I feel like there's definitely a tonal shift. Um, I can't really remember too much of like the crazier parts of the first season, but it felt a bit like it felt a lot more pared back and like a small business kind of story. Um,
Mm,
which I guess that this could be the same thing, but it does feel different to me for sure. It doesn't feel exactly like the same show. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I'll definitely check it out at least.
Yeah. It kinda I guess that makes sense, obviously, in that I mean, it's been 3 years. That's crazy, but
Well, it's been a
that
minute.
that's kinda wild, just in terms of time passing, but yeah, it's been that long. You've got this upgraded cast, and it just makes sense that it would kinda take on a bit of a new identity with those 2 things, I think. Um,
Yeah, that's true.
and obviously, new characters, new story as well, obviously. So, yeah. And, like, the whole country club, like, golf aspect to it is like, yeah, okay, this is yeah, really we're trying something different, for sure.
Mm,
So, I'm in. I'm very happy to give this a try. You think I'm gonna knock back Oscar Isaac and Kerry Mulligan being husband and wife on a TV show? You kidding me?
yeah, true. Yeah, true.
That's the only selling point I need. And then I know, like, Charles Melton's in it. It's like, oh, that's his name, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I looked at the name of the trailer just to make sure I was not
Yeah.
saying like Charlton Melton or Charlton Mel, any variation of
Charlton.
yeah. Charlton Heston,
Yeah.
else, yeah. Charles Melton. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. No. So enough said on that. Really. I'll give it a go. Then we've got The Boys season 5. You watched this one?
Mm, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty standard like boys trailer I was surprised there wasn't that much of Ryan in the trailer. It feels like he would be more central. But like everything else that you would expect is kind of there. It just feels kind of like they were, they're done at this point. They're wrapping it up. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't know. There's not. I was definitely more excited for the season 4 trailer, um, but at this point they kind of yeah. Like I don't know if you can if it's like a bad thing that they're like it's justified at this point, but I don't know if they're wrapping it up just because they have to or because like it's where the story is or should be. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it just feels like that they're at the end of their rope, and yeah,
yeah. But you're saying you don't know if it feels that way because they're out of ideas or because like
yeah, out of ideas or momentum, because they've successfully like developed the story to this point where I think they have, which is the funny thing, but they're also like kind of, I think it's kind of both, you know, on that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you. So this isn't really the. I mean, I didn't watch this trailer, but this isn't really the response I was hoping for. Because so what? Nothing in this trailer felt like this is the final season, and I can't wait. Like holy shit, they're doing big things. Like you know what I mean?
But they've already kind of elevated it to that point where there's nowhere further to elevate it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they're bringing back everything and having everything in the final season. Like at like the end of season 4, they pretty much. I mean, not to spoil it, but like where else can you, how else can you kind of um yeah increase the scale? It's kind of yeah. They're at the point where you need to bring in like aliens to make it. Uh, they need to do like an Invincible to. I mean, Invincible already kind of
Right.
had that, but you know they can't do that. Uh, yeah. But I'm still
There
excited
was
to
that
see it.
image.
So yeah.
Well, that's good at least. There was that image though. I saw the poster where it's like, isn't Vault Tower like destroyed or something? So it's like that's something, isn't it?
I mean, it's like this. There's definitely gonna be like the war or whatever. But like,
Yeah. Yeah.
what else can they do? There's just yeah. I don't know.
No, no, dude, I'm with you because I don't even really like this show at this point. So, like, I'll watch this because it's the final season. And I've seen every other season, so like, obviously, like, I'm not gonna. I will check it out,
Mm.
but the show's kind of lost me. So yeah, well, I definitely would. Yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I would have given the last season like a 6 or something. Like, I think it's like kind of spinning its wheels for me. So I don't. Yeah, I don't disagree with your sentiment. Like, I'm definitely more negative than you, and I don't disagree with your sentiment where it's like I don't. I didn't have any interest to watch this trailer, for example. So I don't know. Like the least I can hope for is that like the final season does some things to surprise me and go like, oh shit, that was kind of cool. But I think the other thing that kind of puts me off is the fact that already like, sure, this is the final season, but they're developing like 3 spin-offs, and it's like, all right, but how final is this going to feel for these characters? I don't know. Like, or is it going to be some like, oh, they can
Right.
come back? Carl Urban's going to come back in the fucking whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the main thing is like killing Homelander and then probably killing like 1 or 2 of like the team of the boys.
Right. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I mean like some of Homelander's like other like associates or whatever, other people in his side.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
like killing Homelander has to happen for in my
yeah,
opinion, has
obviously,
to
yeah,
happen for the show to feel like a definitive end.
yeah, yeah, obviously. But like
Yeah.
other than that, it's not going to be too many like I think to keep it open for like spin-offs and stuff. Um,
Yeah. I also kind of feel like Butcher has to die, but at the same time, it's
mm,
like he kind of already, like to your point, he kind of already has died like 3 times.
yeah, he's died and dying, and yeah,
Yeah, but he can still do
I don't
it.
know.
He can still really do it.
Yeah, but like to your point about surprises, I'm just saying like if they I mean, if it'd be a surprise if they killed off like a spin-offable character, like Starlight or something, or like
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Starlight would surprise me. Yeah.
Although that would be cool if they did. do that.
Yeah.
They become the fuck. What's the quote? Fuck. Live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Yeah. What's the
Yeah, exactly.
live
Dude, it's
long
like
enough to see yourselves?
they've been memeing all the spin-offs and the franchise aspect of it, and then they do it.
Yeah, the meme isn't a meme anymore. It's just the
Yeah.
truth. Yeah.
In a way that kind of maybe that's like maybe that like we kind of say that like, oh, you know, we should laugh at that. Like that's like, oh, that's how depressing or whatever. But it's like maybe that's the ultimate culmination of it and what it has to be. It's like that's the ultimate message. That's the ultimate commentary is that it is inevitable and it will happen, you know, and it's like that is it coming full circle. It
Yeah,
getting its spin.
that's true. Yeah, wow, what an artistic statement. Wow,
Dude, it
crazy.
might be the magnum opus of I was gonna
Superhero.
say of Amazon. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
no, that's why dude, I don't know if Amazon yeah, it probably easily is Amazon's magnum opus already. They haven't got much, but yeah, the superhero genre is magnum opus.
Mm,
Forget Avengers Endgame. It's like Endgame but meta.
yeah, that's the meta. It's a postmodern superhero
Yeah.
magnum opus.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good actually. Speaking of superheroes, then I watched this trailer for Lanterns, which is a show that's been in development forever. Just feel like I've been hearing about the show, talking about the show forever. But finally got a trailer, and it looks pretty good, I gotta say. So it's you've got Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre, aka James Bond,
Mm.
playing playing Green Lanterns. Um, this is it's True Detective, bro. It's just True Detective, but they're Green Lanterns. That's basically how I'd
And
pitch it.
didn't people, when people saying that,
That's
I
how
was
people
like,
were. Yeah. That's how it was being described, and it is definitely that. Yeah, from the
okay.
trailer. So nothing really surprised me in that regard, other than like I think it looks quality. Um, it like when I say it is True Detective, like I mean that in like I'm not saying I think it's going to be as good as True Detective necessarily, but like it looks like True Detective. It feels like it has the production of a True Detective, and like the places they go, it has that like sort of rural American vibe to it, which is like in a good way. That's like a thumbs up for me. Um, there's no weird. I mean, in the trailer, who knows? But like if the show might have more of it, I'm sure it will. But like, there's no like weird shit of like they're trying to create a True Detective vibe, and then I kept waiting in the trailer for them to like show them in these green CG suits and just like totally ruin it. You know what I mean? Um, it didn't happen. Like there was a shot like they at the end like started using their powers a bit more, and like Kyle Chandler like flew, but like he's just in his street clothes flying. So it's like okay,
Oh, yeah, it's just
you know.
Kyle Chandler flying. Yeah, he can do that.
Well, what do you want? Yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, but I don't know. Like, I kind of imagine we're going to watch the show, and at some point, I'm going to be watching it the whole time, waiting for it just to degrade to just big CG fucking Green Lantern shit.
Mm.
Which maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. Some of the humor didn't land fully for me in the trailer. I will say, like, I wasn't fully sold on that. It didn't. I don't think. I think it's probably just the way it was cut together. I wasn't fully sold on like the actual. I think the dynamic between them has super potential. I just don't think like the lines they chose in the trailer were that great of like, oh, these guys have got great chemistry. I think they will, but I wasn't fully sold on that. So I guess what I'm saying, the main thing that sold me in this trailer, I will check this out, is just like the combo, seeing True Detective with a bit of Green Lantern energy, a bit of superhero energy, like in that genre, like a take on the genre. I like that as a pitch, and I think it's delivering on that atmosphere. So I thought the trailer was pretty good. Like I'm definitely intrigued. Um, remains to be seen how likable the characters are and all that kind of stuff, but I'll give it a shot. So it did its job, I guess, in that regard. Now it's time for our highlights of the week. For the 80th week in a row, I've got nothing. I really do want to have something next week. I really will think I'm pretty confident I'll have something next week for you. But
That's good.
yeah. Who gives a shit? That's a whole week away. Fitzy, what have you been watching?
No, I don't. No,
Oh my god. We got nothing.
no, I gotta finish Ulysses. You know, it takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Well, that could have been your highlight, but you're not finished it, so.
Yeah, I can give a review of like one of the chapters, you know, because every chapter is like stylistically different. So like every chapter
Really?
deserves its own review. Yeah. Oh well, for
Oh,
the
wow.
most part, yeah.
How long are the chapters?
Well, the writing is very like small and condensed. But like some are like 30, and then it becomes like 50, and then there's like this 150-page chapter that's like a surreal play, but where it's like inanimate objects and like inanimate objects are characters, and like um you know, biblical people characters become characters, and people who shouldn't be in the scene are characters, and it's all just like
Oh,
random.
wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
like starts off like pretty short, and then it gets like progressively kind of longer. um yeah.
It sounds kind of wild, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it's wild. It's very wild. It's a very wild book. I mean, I don't know if it invented maximalist literature, but like it pretty much did. You know, it pretty much invented a whole way of writing. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
Mm,
that'll be your highlight next week, and then I'll have a highlight next week,
mm.
and then everyone can tune in next week, and we'll have a great time. All right. Now it's time to hand the show over to you with our question of the show. Last week we asked you, who is your favourite Australian criminal? Dr. Luke said,
Oh shit.
Ben Mendelsohn in Animal Kingdom, mate. I hear the old shit from you. You haven't been talking to the cops, have you, mate? Dude, I saw Luke write this in right after I posted this, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is. Absolutely. And I definitely would have strongly considered this. But Luke took it, and, it was his to take. I only would have taken it if he didn't take it. So I guess I'm kind of glad he did in that sense. And then Andy says only Dr. Luke can answer that question. Yes, definitely agreed with that. But Andy also writes in and says, John Carlo from Mr. Nice Guy, a Jackie Chan film set in Melbourne. I just watched it on the same day of writing this response. Nothing special about this mob boss character, but you should see his house. I'm sure Jaden could describe it with a decent amount of detail. So you're telling me, wait, so John Carlo plays like that John Carlo Esposito? Am I tripping? He plays a Melbourne gangster in this movie? I feel like I need to see that. That sounds awesome. I've just tried to quickly find this character. And Google AI, so I Googled John Carlo Esposito, Mr. Nice Guy, and
Mm.
Google AI came up with this. John Carlo Esposito is widely regarded as a very nice, charming, and professional person. Oh, man. No, I'm just trying to find him in this movie.
What's it
Is it
called?
not him?
Nice.
Mr. Nice Guy?
Oh,
Maybe it's not
the
him.
the Hong Kong thing? Hong Kong?
It's a Jackie Chan film, but it's in Melbourne.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, here we go. I'm on the cast list. Why can't I? Oh no, John Carlo's a character played by Richard Norton.
Ah, John Collin. Oh yeah, yeah.
Dude, I just assume that there's no other John Carlo on earth except my guy John Carlo Esposito. He is in that much shit that I just figured, why not? He could be in that. Oh well, that's a bit disappointing. I'm not going to watch the movie anymore. All right. Dr. Leanne said, by the way, the returning Dr. Leanne.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations. We're really excited to have you back, Leanne. Dr. Leanne said, like many Australians, the bushranger Ned Kelly is a favourite criminal. He is the name that springs to mind for many Australians when asked this question. Ned Kelly is favoured by Australians because he was a folk legend and outlaw who fought the police. Like Robin Hood, he represents the poor who tried to stand up against the rich. To me, Ned Kelly is a favourite because so much marketing has been built around the man and the legend. Many country towns, including Glenrowan and Beechworth, and others like to promote their connection to the outlaw gang. The variety of souvenirs for this man are numerous and almost endless. Other Kelly connections can be seen at the Old Melbourne Jail, the State Library, the National Gallery of Australia, the list goes on. Relating it to cinema, the myth has certainly outlived the man. The world's first dramatic feature-length film was the story of the Kelly Gang in 1906. That is crazy. A first feature film. I did know that, but that's wild. The National Film and Sound Archive in Canberra have done much to bring this early film back to life. Other films have included the Glen Rowan Affair, Ned Kelly starring Mick Jagger, and Ned Kelly starring Heath Ledger, and Reckless Kelly. Countless books have also been written. Finally, one of my ancestors was caught up in the Kelly siege at Glen Rowan and sadly died as a result of a policeman's stray bullet. That's a hell of a story. Wow. That's you too, Fizzy. That's you. That's crazy. Oh my God. Wow. That's a cool story. Man, thank you, Leanne. You've made me realize how little Ned Kelly related media I've seen. The only Ned Kelly thing I've seen is that one from recently where that Russell Crowe was in. The that movie from a few years ago, The True History of the Kelly Gang, I think is what it was called. And I didn't really like it. But that's like the only Ned Kelly adjacent thing I've seen. I've definitely obviously would want to check out the Heath Ledger one because I'm sure he's great. All right, Fitzy, was I successful in buying you enough time to come up with an answer?
Well, look, my answer is the first entry in list of Australian convicted crimes.
Okay.
But it's a good first entry. It's Brendan Abbott, born 1962, known as the Postcard Bandit.
This is who I was talking about last week.
Was it?
Yeah.
In what context were you talking about him?
When we were discussing doing the question, and it was like, oh, can you think of anyone? And I was like, oh yeah, there's that guy. It was the robber. He was the bank robber. He was evading the police or whatever I said. And it's this dude.
Yeah. But I'm trying to find the postcard part where it's like funny, like fun.
He sent the police postcards. Is all I know.
Oh.
Like it's like a mocking thing of like, lol, you haven't caught me yet.
Right. He's the only prisoner on record to escape. Never return to its closure in 1991. He dressed in fake uniform and escaped, it looks like.
That's great.
Earning him lifelong notoriety as a criminal genius. No,
That's
I mean,
pretty cool.
like, yeah. I mean, Australia doesn't have that many legendary or interesting criminals that I know of, at least. I mean, Ned Kelly. I haven't been forced to think of Ned Kelly for quite a while. But like,
you've been forced.
Yeah, once again. But yeah, it's just freaking Robin Hood. It's Australian Robin Hood. Like it's just not.
And he's real.
Oh, yeah, he's real, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be interested in Ned Kelly, but not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Yeah, fair enough. What about Chopper? Hey, it's Chopper. You know?
I don't know anything about Chopper, but I mean, I've seen like a minute of. See, I was gonna say this in the review, like I've seen like a minute of Chopper, and that's kind of more what I was expecting of Romper Stomper, because like that 1 minute of Eric Banner is like hypnotic, you know.
Oh yeah.
But no. But is Chopper your answer?
No, it's not. But I wish I could think of one of his lines, like just the way he says shit. It's funny. Like
I read one on Letterboxd, which was Beethoven had his critics see if you can name three, and I can just imagine that in like an Eric Banner's accent.
Beethoven, yeah, it'd be something.
Beethoven had his critics. See if you can name three, like that.
Exactly. Oh my God! No, my answer. I mean, Fitzy, you're gonna be kicking yourself, mate. It's Mr. In Between. It's Ray Shoesmith, bro.
Well, we can choose fake people. Oh,
that's what Andy and Luke did.
Oh well, why not? The question.
Favorite Australian criminal, fictional or non-fictional, it was not part of it. You know what I mean?
Exactly, it wasn't part of it. It wasn't specified that you could choose fictional.
Wasn't specified, of course. Dude, it's Mr. In Between. What more do you need? It's hilarious. This guy, he's the best criminal ever. I mean, he's a murderer, but, like, who cares? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He
true.
just wants
Most
to he
relatable
just wants to
murderer.
make his daughter happy. He just wants
Yeah.
to hang out with his daughter. He just wants to, have a stable relationship and what else? Like, take care of his brother, He's just a normal guy,
Mm.
and he's great. One of my favorite scene is I think it's the end of season 1. I always think of this scene where it's like when they're all, I mean, no, not full spoilers, but I don't know. They're in a situation where they're sort of out in the woods and they're like clearly someone's like gonna kill someone else and then bury them or whatever. But then the way they talk with each other of just like, oh yeah, how you going, mate? Oh yeah, I'm all right, or whatever. Just fucking cracks me up every time. Um, so yeah, anyway, great show. If you haven't watched this show, what are you doing? Can I just
Yeah,
say that?
it is peak. It is peak. Not even in
It is
terms of like peak Australian shows, just peak shows. Seriously.
absolutely,
Yeah.
seriously, absolutely agreed. It like obviously it being Australian like adds adds some flavour for sure. I feel like it's the
Mm.
part like it's peak TV mixed with the fact that it has the Australian flavour. Also, the lengths of the episodes are so good. Some of them are like 20 minutes. But like
Yeah.
every episode you get something out of though. Like
No,
the
yeah.
episodes are just
Super
really well paced and
satisfying
satisfying.
lengths. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Huge recommendation. We'll continue to shout that to the heavens. All right. As always, we'd love you to submit your responses, thoughts, and or reviews for next week's question in the YouTube or Instagram comments, or join the Discord server. This week, the specific question we're asking you is, who is your favourite gangster's wife? I think I've just realised how, like, I don't mind the question, but it's more just like how similar it is to this week's and how it feels like we're just picking like variations of who's your favorite criminal and just keep like trying to class this or find a new version of
Yeah. Yeah.
it. But anyway, and to be clear, after this week,
Yeah, we're mainly
fiction
talking
or
about
non-fiction?
fictional, but yeah, or
Yeah,
non-fiction, sure.
that's the thing. So you meant it as fictional, I think.
Yeah, I was thinking of fictional because I don't really know,
Yeah.
non-fictional gangsters' wives, to be honest.
Who was Al Capone's wife? I don't know. No idea.
Yeah,
But
Mrs. Capone, obviously.
yeah, exactly. Let us know, who is your favorite gangster's wife? Before we go, Jaden forfeited the Instagram poll this week. He was
Mm.
scheduled to be in it. He was on a run. Unfortunately for him, Nana.
Yeah, he threw in the
he,
white flag,
he
the black
threw, he
towel, the
threw,
white towel.
he threw in the white towel. Oh man! So now it's Fitzy and I going head to head in a poll, and I'm glad because it's given me a second chance after a loss last time. So I'm needing to redeem myself here. But yeah, so we'll each be nominating a film that you must vote and to decide which film we end up reviewing in a fortnight's time. And we do this over on the Instagram page. Okay, Fitzy, do you want to go first?
Sure. Um, I don't know if I've chosen this film before. I might have, to be honest, but mine is Starship Troopers. Have I chosen that?
Oh,
I
I
don't know.
think you have, but I don't know.
Yeah, but it's a
Not my memory.
sci-fi. I understand it as like a sci-fi, like comedy, like a satirical kind of sci-fi film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Satirical military science fiction film, kind of parodying, um, like yeah, military themes and science fiction tropes and that kind of thing. From 1997, from Paul, is it? Yeah, Paul Verhoeven, director of RoboCop. Right? Right? Yeah, yeah, right.
Oh,
Total
yeah.
Recall
Okay.
too. So he'll be a friend of the show.
Oh, friend of the show. Hell yeah. Nice. Dude,
Yeah.
that's a pretty strong choice. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm.
Um, I am going to go up against you. Fuck. I don't know about this. I'm gonna nominate Troy.
Troy.
Yep. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it. I don't know if Jane has. But there you go. I'm nominating Troy.
Mm. I mean, good
I'm
pick
not
for
sure.
like the Odyssey coming up. Give us some
True.
give us
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
collective background knowledge.
Thanks for making a supporting argument for me. Everyone,
No.
vote for Troy so you're ready for the Odyssey. Do
Mm.
it. Absolutely. All right. So those are your two options. You can go to our Instagram page, check our stories sometime within 24 hours after this episode goes live. Cast your vote. Troy versus Starship Troopers. I like the contrast in genres, in settings there as well.
Sure.
Right.
Fine period.
That's it for this week's episode. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Fitzy, what are we doing next week?
Wait. Hold on. What's going on? Gangster's wife. Oh, Donnie Brasco. We're doing Donnie Brasco. Finally, the audience has been wondering, waiting. When is Cinema Effect going to do Donnie Brasco? When are they going to do it? When are they going to do the Johnny Depp Al Pacino film? Well, wait, no longer. It's on Stan, and it's from 1997, and we're covering it next week. So, yeah.
Yes. I'm excited. None of us have seen it, which is exciting.
True. Yeah, that doesn't happen every
Feels like
week.
feels like a big one. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to watching it for
Yeah.
sure. No?
Yeah.
I mean,
Ah.
Pacino and Depp, it's pretty
Yeah,
good, right?
that's true. Yeah.
Dude, as we've established, this is the 90s. This is peak Pacino stuff that I haven't seen. This is his peak period.
Sure. That
That's
I haven't
cool.
seen too. Yeah,
I feel like I need to
it's
uncover's the wrong word, but I feel like I need to find and watch every Al Pacino 90s film because whatever it is, it's going to be peak. I probably shouldn't assume that because then I'm going to be disappointed by something. But anyway, that's it. I appreciate Liam for joining me. As always, have a great rest of your week, everyone. And holy shit, the episode was that long? Wow. And goodbye.